You've probably felt this after a walk. Your reactive dog flipped out again, you replay the whole thing in your head, and you're left wondering why nothing you try is working. Because you have watched the videos, tried the training, maybe even spent money on professional help, and yet every single walk still feels stressful and out of control. And if this keeps happening, it's not just frustrating, because you will start avoiding walks altogether, your world will get smaller, and you begin to feel like this is just how life with your dog is going to be. But what if the reason nothing is working has nothing to do with your timing, your tools, or even your dog? In this video, I'm going to show you the one shift that will immediately reduce reactivity, give you back control, and finally have your training work. You probably feel like you've tried everything with your reactive dog and nothing at all sticks. But what if the problem is not what you are doing, but where you're doing it? A very common situation looks like this. You head out on your normal walk thinking, okay, today I'm really going to work on this. And within a few minutes, your dog once more flips out. And now the rest of the walk turns into managing, recovering, and replaying what the heck just happened. Most committed dog owners go on walks with the intention to train. But the problem is, things start going wrong before you even get a chance to apply anything. Your dog reacts within seconds of seeing a trigger, and in that moment, there's no time to think or respond the way you had planned. So instead of actually practicing new skills, you end up repeating the same situations over and over. You get home and your mind starts replaying everything. What should I have done differently? Why didn't this work? And why does this keep happening? And over time, it starts to feel like training just does not work for your dog. And this is not because you're failing. It's because you have actually been trying to train in the hardest possible environment. So, what is it about your daily walks that makes training your reactive dog so incredibly difficult? Why does it feel like things go wrong no matter how prepared you are? A typical neighborhood walk might seem simple on the surface, but when you really look at it, they are full of things you have absolutely no control over. You turn a corner and there's another dog right there. You pass parked cars and someone steps out before you even see them. You walk past a house and the dog starts barking at yours behind a fence. Or you turn around and there's another dog behind you. These are not rare situations. They're built into the structure of most neighborhoods. And what that means is you're constantly being pushed into close encounters that you did not choose. If you try to train on your neighborhood walks, there will never be enough time to prepare, enough time to create space, or enough time for you to think through it and react appropriately. Neighborhood walks are full of corners, surprises, constant triggers, which means you and your dog are actually set up to fail and get overwhelmed before training even begins. And when your environment works against you like this, what chance does any training actually have? How can progress happen if you're always reacting instead of preparing? Let's take a simple example. Your dog needs about 30 feet of distance to a trigger to stay calm. But if in your neighborhood you can only see triggers when they're 10 feet away, you're constantly being surprised and your dog constantly freaks out. Because if you cannot see what's coming, you can't get ahead of it. If you don't have space, you can't move away. If there are triggers in front of you and behind you, you're stuck. And once your dog crosses that threshold and they're already reacting, really the good learning opportunity is gone. At that point, you're no longer training. You're just trying to get through the moment. And this is why so many people feel stuck. Not because they're doing the wrong thing, but because the setup guarantees the same outcome every single time. Let's say that instead of encountering a trigger that's 10 feet away, you see it 50 feet away. At this distance, now you do have time. You can slow down, create distance, or change direction before your dog reacts. And that one difference completely changes what's possible. Because when you cannot see triggers in advance, you do not have space to move away, and you cannot control what's coming next, then your dog is guaranteed to react. And absolutely no training will be successful in that setup. So, if the problem is not actually your tools or your approach or your timing, if the problem is the setup, what exactly should we do so that learning can happen? Most people assume that they just need to do more tools, more techniques, more effort, more training classes. But, as you know, none of this matters if your dog's already overwhelmed before you begin. You cannot build new skills in a state where your dog is reacting over and over again. What you need first is a way to create successful repetitions. As a pro trainer myself, whenever I met a new reactive dog client, the first thing I did was actually not to jump straight to exercises. The first thing I did was strategically plan where we were going to train so that the dog could be successful. The fastest way to reduce reactivity is not changing your technique. It's choosing a different environment where your dog can actually succeed. So, what does a better environment actually look like? Here's how to tell whether a space will help your dog make progress. First, you need visibility. You want to be able to see what's coming before it gets too close. So, no tight corners, no blind spots, no surprises. Second, you need space. If a trigger appears, you need room to move away without feeling trapped. Third, you need enough distance. So if your dog needs 30 feet to a trigger to stay calm, you must be able to see and manage at least that far, ideally more. Because if your environment does not allow that, you're already behind and set up to fail. A quiet open field, a wide park path, or an empty parking lot gives you exactly this. There you can see triggers early, create distance easily, and stay in control of the situation. A good training location gives you visibility, space to move away, and enough distance to stay under your dog's threshold so that reactions do not constantly happen in the first place. And this is where most people underestimate just how important the environment you train in really is. Because what happens if your dog needs more space than your current environment allows? If your dog's threshold is farther than what you can see or manage, you're already set up to fail. Cars, corners, fences, hedges all reduce your usable space. They take away your ability to respond early. And even if your timing is perfect and you know exactly what to do in training, this will not matter because the situation itself is too tight. So, if your current walks are setting you up to fail, what exactly should you do instead? Do you keep pushing through, or is there a better option? This is where many people hesitate, because it feels like you should keep walking your dog. But really, if every single walk leads to reactions, you are only repeating the same pattern over and over. Each reaction makes the next one more likely. You start the walk tense, your dog starts the walk already on edge, and instead of helping and being good experiences, those walks only slow down your progress and freak you and your dog out. So, in some cases, the better choice is to pause neighborhood walks for the time being. And of course, that does not mean stopping to exercise your dog at all. It just means that we stop walking in places where our dog is guaranteed to fail. Once you make this shift, what's actually going to change in your day-to-day? How does this affect the way training feels moving forward? At first, stopping to train on neighborhood walks might seem like a small adjustment, but the effect is immediate. You will start seeing fewer reactions right away. If you pick better training environments, you will finally have time to think before something happens. You can actually apply what you've learned instead of just scrambling to react in the moment. And your dog will stay calmer because you're no longer pushing them into overwhelming situations. And for the first time, training will probably start to feel manageable. Not perfect, but manageable. Now that you understand that working on your dog's reactivity is not about the right timing or the right tools, but about picking the correct environment, what happens when things still go wrong and your dog explodes anyway? And you're stuck in that moment with no idea what to do. Watch this next video where I will walk you exactly what to do before, during, and after unforeseen outbursts so that you can master those as well.